A circle with center at 1, -2 has a diameter with one endpoint at 4, -5. Determine one other point on the circle. Draw the circle. Also determine the length of the diameter. The center of a circle is at the midpoint of a diameter. We can then use the midpoint formula to determine the other endpoint of the diameter. We substitute one of the endpoints, x1, y1, and the center of the circle, xm, ym, and calculate the other endpoint, x2, y2. We can then plot these points and draw the circle on the grid provided. And finally, use the distance formula to calculate the diameter. Here we want the distance between points x1, y1 and x2, y2, the endpoints of the diameter. For our question, the midpoint is given by 1, -2. Note this is the center of the circle. One of the endpoints is at 4, -5. For the x-coordinate, we're using x1 equals 4 and xm for the midpoint equals 1. For the y-coordinate, y1 equals -5 and ym equals -2. We have to solve each of these equations for the x and y coordinates separately. For the x coordinate, first step, remove the fractions. To do this, we'll multiply both sides of the equation by 2. This results in 2 equals 4 plus x2, and we can then subtract 4 from both sides, giving us x2 equals -2. For the y-coordinate, again, multiply both sides by 2 to remove the fraction. We then have -4 equals -5 plus y2, and we can add 5 to both sides to isolate the y2, giving us y2 equals 1. We then have the other point of the diameter as -2, 1. We can then plot the circle. First, the center of the circle at 1, -2, the endpoint that we were given at 4, -5, and the endpoint that we've just calculated, -2, 1. Connecting these with a circle, and then we want to find the diameter. The distance between those points, -2, 1 and 4, -5. For this, we use the distance formula. Note that in this case, x1 equals 4, x2 equals -2, y1 equals -5, and y2 equals 1. Substituting this in, we get the square root of 72. Simplifying this to a mixed radical form gives us 6 root 2, or expressed as a decimal rounded to 2 decimal places, 8.49.